the other French. So I'm going for a Northern Hemisphere play and throw in Luxembourg as well. He didn't get much luck last time, and we know he likes it here, went with it ahead of Romantic Warrior. So 3, 5 and 6. But, the Northern Hemisphere horses are at good prices. And as Jenny says with Pradaria, at 18 to 1, it's hard to see one of the Japanese horses running bad as well.
Continuous here. Jenny's a Colt by Heart's Cry. Of course, he's an Irish St. Leger winner. How did he look on the parade for Wayne Lorden?
Yeah, look, he was well behaved. He was quite relaxed in the parade. He's not overly big, but he does, just his conformation. He carries a little bit of weight around the midsection. I'm sure he's fit. That's just him. So he's strong enough. He's quite stocky.
Where does his form stack up for this sort of race, Graham?
This time last year, Tom, he'd be a single-figure price because this time last year, he won the St. Leger Classic, Group 1. He finished 5th in Ace Impact's Arc de Triomphe, and I thought he would be a 120-plus horse in 2024. It hasn't worked out, but it could be that some soft ground has been against him. I think his role in this race is key from a tactical point of view because I see him going forward and helping Luxembourg, his stablemate, find a nice slot behind. And I think, Jenny, Kying Generation has gone forward in the past, and his Derby run suggests that might be the way to go with him.
Quite possibly. I mean, I would be surprised if they did want to do other tactics with him. I think that gives him his best opportunity at this level. I don't know whether he's quite good enough, though. That would be my little concern.
Isn't it brilliant to have a big-time Aussie challenger, high-quality Japanese horses, Irish horses, British horses, all up against the Hong Kong team? It's what this occasion is all about, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Kying Generation, Andrea Renzi riding him. Let's not forget, he partnered without a fight when he raced in Europe, and also Giavellotto as well, so he knows those rivals well.
He did. He told me about Giavellotto. He had the ride and was looking forward to riding him in the summer last year. Then he decided to come to Hong Kong, so you have to leave some good stuff behind to come here.
You do. Back quickly to Luxembourg. Are you surprised they're running 2,400 metres, not the 2,000 like they've attacked before? Do they see this as a better option for him to maybe go out rather than running into Romantic Warrior?
He's run a Group 1 win, 2,400 this year at Epsom, but it was an absolute Pied Piper dawdle race. Ryan Moore dictated, quitting, that was all she wrote. But he's a highly consistent Group 1 horse. This is his swan song.
Last look at the market, Paul, as the starters on the platform.
More money for Stellenbosch. She's into 2.4. Money coming from Pradaria, the Japanese horse on a place line, now into 4.3 and being backed through exotics.
Okay, not too many left to load. The Turf World Championships about to get underway here at Sharton. We welcome you into our telecast wherever you are around the world, tuning into our feed today from Hong Kong. Sharton Racecourse is the scene. $126 million worth of prize money across the 4 races of the Turf World Championships. And to call them, it's race caller Mark McNamara.
Thank you, Tom. And the filly Stellenbosch looking to join Mogul and Highland Reel as only the third 3-year-old to win this race. Over the last 10 years, they're ready. At the 1.5 mile, racing in the bars. And it's a good line away. No early speed from Iracine. He's being hustled along, but he's gone back to last, and Ensued began well. Kying Generation with pace, and outside of them is Last City Blanche. Pradaria punching up against the rail. Dubayana gets over behind them, and wider as Luxembourg without a fight down on the fence. Marquisat's wider from Giavellotto, and then came Continuous, who's gone back to be 4th last. Iracine is on the fence. The favourite Stellenbosch is 2nd last, and 5G Patch is last of all. Around to go, and it's Pradaria for Japan. Joined up front by Last City Blanche for Hong Kong, China, and Kying Generation 3rd. Luxembourg is wide. He's 4th from Ensued, and down next to the rail is Without a Fight. Next line of 3, outside in, Marquisat, Dubayana and Giavellotto, and there is no pace on. A length away, Continuous from Iracine, and 5G Patch and Stellenbosch, the favourite, is last, and she's 8 lengths off Pradaria, who turns them to the back straight. The first of the 4 Group 1s at the Turf World Championship, and with 1,400 to go, it's Pradaria by a length, and with the slow speed, there goes Atzani with Kying Generation. He's gone out and around Last City Blanche. Luxembourg, he's had to work wide Without a Fight, hasn't on the rail. Ensued is next from Giavellotto. They were followed by Marquisat, Dubayana next. And then came 5G Patch and Continuous and Iracine, and Stellenbosch is last of all. 1,000 metres left to go. And the leader is still Pradaria. Half a length over Kying Generation. Without a Fight has crept even closer now without having to do any work. The Australians running 3rd. 4th and pushed along Last City Blanche, and then came Giavellotto. Luxembourg doing it tough. Ensued next. Ridden along Marquisat from 5G Patch against the rail. Then Do By Honour. Continuous. Stellenbosch starts a run and Irasine's back to last. Pradaria's had a charm run. He leads in the bars by a length over Without a Fight, who's come to second and trying to push Car-Ying Generation out of the way. Stellenbosch, Luxembourg join in, and then came Marquisat and Ensued. It's the filly for Japan. Stellenbosch taking the lead. Luxembourg, Marquisat, Giavellotto hitting a gut next to the inside. Giavellotto has run past them all. 2 over Stellenbosch and getting home well. Do By Honour. What a ride. Oisin Murphy. Giavellotto won the bars and beat Do By Honour and Stellenbosch. Then came Ensued Racine. Next in 5G Patch Marquisat. Luxembourg. Enjoy the retirement paddock, old boy. From Continuous, La City Blanche, Pradaria. Without a Fight had the perfect trip. He stopped. He beat one in, Car-Ying Generation. Giavellotto. Oisin Murphy and Marco Botti. Where did he come from? 12 and 3. Do By Honour second for Tom Marquand at 3.8. Stellenbosch third, number 13, Joe Moreira at 1.6. We had Stellenbosch loom up. Luxembourg stayed on, but the run told in the end. And then all of a sudden, Giavellotto hit the gap in the vase, picked it up, put the flowers in, and said, thanks very much, that's my bouquet. What a ride, Oisin Murphy. And he's won by a big space. 2, 4, 13 and 12 are the placings, as the Europeans have dominated first and second. Stellenbosch, it was such a slowly run race, 2:27.53. They're half a second outside of standard. The field taking off from about the half mile, and Giavellotto roars away with the bars by 2.5 lengths. One between second and third as we head down to Nick Child with the winning rider.
Very much, Mark. Oisin Murphy, take a bow. I bet you love it when a plan comes together. That was magnificent.
Yeah, well, Nick, he had a beautiful trip around until we turned in. He relaxed great and he was in a super rhythm. Very well behaved today. He got checked turning into the straight and often you don't get going again. But how powerful was he late? And well done to Team Marco Botti. It was a great plan coming here and they did an incredible job preparing him.
And were you concerned at any stage with the fact that there wasn't a lightning quick tempo?
No, because he relaxed and he was in a good rhythm and he was always going to give himself every chance. So, no, it was terrific, Nick. Really, really brilliant.
And Oisin, for you as a rider, you've ridden winners all around the world, etc. How special is this to come here and win on the big stage?
Massive. He's owned by the most wonderful people, and Marco Botti has had a terrific couple of seasons with not a huge amount of horses, but he places them incredibly well, Nick, and I'm sure him and his team will get a huge thrill out of this.
Oisin, enjoy the moment. Well done.
Thank you.
What a win there from Giavellotto taking out the Hong Kong vase. We'll get some great images as well. Oisin Murphy wearing jockey cam. Here's the replay of the first of the Group 1s.
And it's a good line away. No early speed from Irasine. He's being hustled along, but he's gone back to...
He hasn't won in Hong Kong, but has numerous placings alongside his name. 111, 8 and 4 is the long money comes for Jenny's long shot, California Totality, Nick.
Yes, I like the on-top selection here is number 11, Sunstrider, who's £5 better off with Bravehearts. I think he hit the front too early last time out. So 11 to beat 10, California Totality. Always had time for him. I think they'll go forward to here from the draw. I've got 8 in as well, and that is Family Jewel and also 1 Braveheart. So 11, 10, 8 and 1, Nick.
Yeah, also got on the 11 here, Tom. Pretty keen on this Sunstrider. I really liked his run last time, keeping on quite nicely. That was behind Bravehearts, of course, and this will be a second try over the course and distance. Zach Purton's on, and he's only got 1-2-2 on his back, so he's receiving a nice bit of weight from some of these. Notably Braveheart, so won the race last time out up at the top. He's got Matthew Poon's claim, so a couple of pounds coming off. He'll carry 1-3-3, and he's been really good in a couple of starts from Mark Noonan so far. Obviously unblemished record, 2 wins over the mile in 2000, and he's just coming back a furlong in trip. The 8 Family Jewel goes in. He was sort of the meat in the sandwich there last time in that Bravehearts race. He ran second. I think 1800 should be fine for him, and James McDonald will take the ride. He's been racing very consistently of late, this horse. And in for fourth, I put Starmac. He's a handy horse on his day, this fellow. He's actually yet to win one in 14 attempts, and he was a close-up fourth in a Classic Cup last year, so that's pretty decent form. And just recently, he's been racing well behind Bravehearts and Voyage Samurai, who's a very smart horse. was only 3 parts of a length off of him. They've put him up £1 to 71 for that. 11, 1, 8 and 4 for me here, Jenny.
Yeah, look, the one goes on top for me, Bravehearts. I thought he presented really nicely. I'm a little concerned he's got to carry 133 pounds here, but he's in winning form and he's fronted up looking particularly well once again. I've got him on top of my long shot. That's number 10, California Totality. Gate 12, he will require some luck, but he has also been racing very well. If he rolls forward here, he could be there for quite some time. He looks really fit today. The 4, Star Mac, also looks a whole lot fitter than I've seen him in the past. I think he presents really well from the Hayes yard. So going for a quick double. And I thought number 3, Pray For Mir, a horse that often catches my eye in the parade. He's got a great attitude. Needs to pick up a little bit off those last 2 efforts. He was slow out last time, so a bit of an excuse for him. But if he does jump on terms, he can actually race quite handy. And hopefully that'll happen today. I've gone 1, 10, 4 and 3.
Thank you, Jenny, as runners are behind the start here for our 6th of the afternoon. Paul, where's the late money going as we count down to a start, and what's the play?
All going for California Totality. He's now into 12 to 1. He's been backed with every runners and forecasts, QUINELLAs, everything. He's going to come in more. That's where all the late money is, the 10. He's in the play, Jenny's value bet there, along with the 1 Bravehearts and also the 4 Star Mac. But I expect him to go brown California Totality the way the money's coming for him, just through the exotics and the win and place line. He's now into 11 to 1 since I've been speaking. So the other one that's been backed is the 8 Family Jewel, the favourite. He's quite short, Family Jewel. He's now 2.4. So he's come up a reasonably short price there.
It's fair to say, Jenny, that the temperature's dropped here a bit at Charlton, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. We've got a few clouds now. At the start of the day, it was all blue sky, but yes, definitely a fair bit cooler, probably 3 or 4 degrees from when we started.
Bravehearts, Nicky's got an extra £10 to carry here. He carried £123 last time out to win over a Family Jewel. Is that going to be a barrier for him, do you think, at all?
Well, look, he's going to have to take another step forward, that's for sure. I mean, he's gone up 6 officially, but as you say, he has got that extra 10 to carry here as far as the under the handicap conditions now. So, look, it's going to get tougher for him, but he's really found form, hasn't he? And if anything, maybe the 18's a slight negative. I think the further he goes, the better he is. I mean, he's proven 2,000 here. He's a 1.5 mile winner in South America as well, in Argentina. So, look, he's a horse who stays well. He's in form. He's from a stable that are flying. So there's plenty to like. But as you say, the big weight's certainly going to demand a bit more from him.
What's the deal, Paul, with the pace in this race? You thought California Totality press forward from his wide draw?
Yeah, I think he will. He can go forward and try and get to the front. Pray For Mir likes to go forward. 18 Carat likes to go forward as well. So I think those 3 will be the main pace setters.
Moving in well here for our 6th race of the afternoon. This is the Jim and Tonic Handicap over the 1,800 metres. The lovely big long run down the back straight, and then we're back into the next 2 Group 1 races here at Sharton. Of course, a very intriguing mile coming up, and the Hong Kong Cup as race number 8. He's gone brown now. Marquez California Totality is at 9.5. The favourite's number 8, Family Jewel, at $2.50.
And he's backed Tom through every runner in QUINELLA's California Totality, most of them brown. We wait for Fortunate Son, and they'll be set at the 1,800. Pray For Mir, green on a win line. Family Jewel, the favourite, 2.5. 6.5 now, California Totality. And they're off at the 1,800 metre mark, and he jumped pretty well, California Totality. So too did Good Luck Babe. Running third early, Pray For Mir from Fortunate Son, and 18 Carats on the inside of Sunstrider. So We Sing's going to rail through inside of that pair from Bravehearts and Family Jewel. Then Star Mac around Simple Hedge from Bright Inheritance. Universal Horizon back to second last, and last of all is Beauty Live. Through the first 400 metres, and it's Pray For Mir leading over California Totality. 1 to his outside, and Good Luck Babe third box seating. Fourth is Fortunate Son, and fifth is So We Sing. A length to 18 Carat from Sunstrider around Bravehearts, looking to make it 3 wins in a row. A gap of 3 lengths to Simple Hedge inside of Family Jewel. And then came Star Mac. He's following Family Jewel from Universal Horizon, Beauty Live and Bright Inheritance. 15 lengths over the field as Pray For Mir leads. Over the heavily backed California Totality running second. Good Luck Babe third, and fourth is Fortunate Son. Fifth is So We Sing. A length and a half to 18 Carat from Bravehearts. There are no moves. Sunstrider next from Simple Hedge, Family Jewel, Universal Horizon and Star Mac. Beauty Life starts a run now from second last, and Bright Inheritance last of all. Pray For Mir leads. California Totality hard written to his outside. Then Good Luck Babe, Fortunate Son. Next is 18 Carat from Bravehearts. It's Pray For Mir, and he has plenty of them off the bit. Staying on California Totality. Good Luck Babe third, a gap to the others, headed by Bravehearts and Sunstrider. Pray For Mir. California Totality just will not go away. He's really gritty on the outside. 3 lengths to Bravehearts and Sunstrider. California Totality has ground down Pray For Mir, and the money's right. California Totality beat home Pray For Mir, Bravehearts and Sunstrider. 18 Carat Family Jewel, Starmac and Bright Inheritance, Fortunate Son, Good Luck Babe. And then came Beauty Live, Simple Edge, So We Sing, Universal Horizon. Number 10, California Totality. Well, he was Jake's long shot, but every person, their dog, their cat, and their relatives backed it. 4.8 and 1.8. Brenton Avdulla and Tony Cruz. 3 Pray For Mir. He went brown too, Matthew Chadwick. He just would not go away, California Totality. Pray For Mir looked to be going better for a good part of the straight, but he just kept nipping at his heels like an annoying little yuppie dog, and then has got away to score by a length and a half. Bravehearts with the extra weight has run third at 2.5, and Sunstrider has run fourth. But 2 heavily punted horses have run 1-2 here, and the numbers are in the frame at 10, 3, 1 and 11 for the intermission race between the Group 1s. We've got the Mile and the Cup coming up, races 7 and 8. But California Totality, now a 4-time winner from 14, 147.47. They're inside of Standard, and Brenton Avdulla and Tony Cruz have claimed race 6. And they're off.
Hopefully he settled down a little bit there out the back, but do like the 10, the 12, Janta Manta at the price, 10 and 3.1. So 12, 2, 13 and 6 for me.
Yeah, I'm with the Soul Rush here. I didn't find much between him and also with Jantar Manta, but his win in the Mile Championship I thought was very solid coming into this. A lot of respect for Voyage Bubble, who is the favourite at 2.7, so the money continues to come for him, and also with that horse there on screen. But he got pretty wound up in the yard at Galaxy Patch. He looks happier out there now. So 1, 12, 2 and 6. A recap of Nick Child's numbers, 13, 12, 2 and 6. Jenny Ann from the paddock.
Yeah, 13 on top for me as well. Lazat, I thought he paraded beautifully. The 10 goes in. That is Chang Cheng Glory, one for the local team. I thought number 12 paraded well. Gento Manto, I quite like him. He's a young horse. There should be more upside to him. Everyone's been talking him up this week. And number 1, Soul Rush. He was a little bit on his toes here and there. Very strong-bodied horse coming in with really good form. There he is on screen. He looks terrific. So 13, 10, 12 and 1. Nick, who do you fancy?
I like Soul Rush here. I thought he was the most solid option. I think he's a better horse than he was when he came here 12 months ago, more mature, and you can see why. Lovely, big, robust, beautiful-looking horse. He looks on great terms with himself. He just has to run well. There are others, I think, who've got potential to be better still, but they're either at an early stage of their career, in the form of Lazat, and he's had a busy season, or they've got little question marks. Galaxy Patch has to defy Gate 14, and I know Golden 60 did it last year, and Vince has described this horse as the heir apparent, but he'll need to be.
Oh, he will need to be, certainly, Jenny. And today he's put on a little bit of weight, but got really stirred up here. He was the one that was taking his Marfoos for a walk.
Yeah, well, not the first time I've seen it either, Tom. So that's the thing about this horse, whether or not, he's obviously not an easy horse to handle. Very angular. You've got to look at him there. Is that the first time you've seen him?
Yeah, first time I've seen him in the flesh, and I was really interested to hear what you were saying. It seems as though he ought to be a better horse next year, because he just hasn't filled the frame. Maybe he never will, but he hasn't yet.
Yeah, I wonder whether he will. Look, he looks great in his coat, I've got to say. And because he never carries much excess condition, and the shape of him, he never looks like he's carrying weight. So he gave us so much excitement in the early part of his career. We were hoping he'd go to that next level. So I'm really interested to see what we get from him today.
Antino's on an international rating of 118. Can you see him figuring here at all, Nick? I know he brings some sound enough form in this, but I'm not totally convinced here today about him.
You might know your fate after a stride or two, mightn't you? Because if he gets too far back, then he'll struggle. I think this is such a contentious race that he's not going to want to give himself too much traffic to get through. It'll be very interesting to see how he does get on if he's able to run his race with a point at a Mr. Brightside coming here in April, potentially. The horse he was just behind Flemington last time.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, you're all over the pace influences here. Surely they can't go forward with Beauty Eternal in this race with a few other options in it as well.
Well, look, he'd raced best when he does go forward, Beauty Eternal. I think Lazat looks like the main placemaker, and that's where all the money's coming at 15 and 4.3. He tried to lead all the way over 1,500 in the Golden Eagle, and he steps up to 1,600. The other one is obviously Chang Cheng Glory. Voyage Bubbles never throw away. Red Lions drawn wide. He goes forward. He might be trapped a little bit wide. But, Beauty Eternal, they've got options, but everyone thought he was going to go back when he won his big race, and he did go forward and lead. It's just Lazat's in the race to make it harder for him.
Voyage Bubble, Nicky went to Japan, Yasuda Kenin. Things didn't go right there. Wide draw, everything. You were in Dubai when he was over there in the race on the turf there. He was lucky not to get put over the fence that night.
Oh, I fancied him like mad in Dubai, and he was desperately unlucky. And he might not quite have got the distance either, but this should suit him. And I'm just mindful of Jenny's comments a few moments ago that he doesn't really look great.
His coat, well, look, body-wise he's okay, but his coat's just gone off a little bit at the moment, so I'm not sure if that's going to make a big difference to his actual performance. Another one I wanted to ask you about, though, Nick, was Ramadan, because I nearly put him in. I'm wondering whether I should have, because he actually looked really good.
Changed hands for €1.5 million. Going to stay here, as Tom was saying, with Mark Noonan, bought by Mr. Zhang Yulong Farms. They've been so acquisitive across the globe in recent weeks. Big money spent at the sales in Newmarket last week as well. Ramadan's a horse who's got some good solid group race form in France, including form that ties in with one or two of these, but you would have thought the ground would be a little lively for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really interested in him as a prospect for Hong Kong, because they clearly think he'll go well here.
Yeah, look, he really hasn't tried it, has he?
No.
And so who knows, he might even be better, but he's 55-1, so just a little bit of interest on him.
Dockland's coming into this. Of course, he's got great form. Via Sistina, City of Troy, Sharon as well.
Yeah.
If I told you at the start of the day you were going to get 94 to 1 about Docklands.
It is insane, because you've got the other angle, which is, could blinkers ginger him up to the extent the connections want to? Because you'd think really at a mile he wants them to go very hard, but he hasn't been getting home over a mile and a quarter in Australia, and maybe drop back in trip with the blinkers on. That's going to bring about the sort of Docklands that we saw running up behind Sharon and the QUINELLA. That's form that ought to be good enough to see him competing on the international stage.
And he needs to break cleanly as well, because that's what he didn't do at Flemington last start. Of course, Docklands. Trackside play, Paul?
Yeah, around the 2, 12 and 13. So Voyage Bubble, the favourite with Genta Manta, and the one all the money's coming for Lazat. He's now into 11s, Lazat. He's back with every single runner through Quinella places, and most of them have halved in price as well.
Are you surprised, Jenny, that the favourites are short as in here in a race that's not clear, cut and dry by any stretch?
Look, I'm not. There's a lot of local money that would be on him, and he is a very good horse when he's 100% right, so I'm not surprised.
He's at 2.6 currently in the world to Paul as runners continue to load away. There's a lot of money coming for number 13, and that, of course, is Lazat. He's now gone brown on a win and place line at 10-1 and at 3s for a place. This is the third of the Group 1s here at Sharton on HKIR 2024, part of the Turf World Championships, and Mark McNamara is your man to call them home.
Thank you, Tom. We wait for Cheng Cheng Glory to come forward, and he will be the last. They'll be ready for the mile. A race that Hong Kong has had such great record in recent times. There's green on the board everywhere, but they're ready. Who's this year's King of the Mile? We'll know soon, because they're racing. Lazat missed it by a length, Antino missed it by 1, and Galaxy Patch is going to drag straight back to last from 14. At the other end, it's Voyage Bubble, Beauty Eternal, and Genta Manta between them. Red Lion fourth, Lazat's a little bit wider, and then came Cheng Cheng Glory from Happy Together. Soul Rush is following Lazat from Antino. Then came Ramadan and Docklands. There's a line of 4 there. A length and a half to Taj Dragon, Beauty Joy, and Galaxy Patch. Voyage Bubble, as Beauty Eternal 3 wide looks to go right on with it as they reach the 1,000-metre mark, and Beauty Eternal takes it up. Genta Manta third, Cheng Cheng Glory is fourth, and fifth is Happy Together. 3 wide Red Lion from Docklands, Lazat 3 wide following Red Lion. Then came Ramadan. Next is Taj Dragon from Antino, Soul Rush, Galaxy Patch, and a length away last of all is Beauty Joy. Beauty Eternal the leader though, half a length over Voyage Bubble. Genta Manta's doing it tough, 3 wide, and Cheng Cheng Glory's had a good trip. He's now fourth on the rail from Happy Together. Red Lion, Lazat, Docklands, Taj Dragon and Antino. Beauty Eternal, Voyage Bubble square off in the lead. 3 lengths to Cheng Cheng Glory. Then came Red Line, Happy Together and Soul Rush. Voyage Bubble is the leader. He's gone clear of Beauty Eternal. 2 lengths then to Soul Rush. Cheng Cheng Glory. It's Voyage Bubble the leader. He's 3 in front over Beauty Eternal, Soul Rush and Beauty Joy. Voyage Bubble's going to see it out and he's going to be the king of the mile. Voyage Bubble has beaten Soul Rush, Beauty Joy, Cheng Cheng Glory, Galaxy Patch. Then came Happy Together, Red Line, Lazat, Beauty Eternal, Taj Dragon, Docklands, Antino, Genta Mentar, and last in Ramadan. Voyage Bubble, James McDonald and Ricky Yu at 2.6 and 1.3. Could be a very big 45 minutes for J-Mac. There's one done. Romantic Warrior. He's next. Mind you, this will be the biggest presentation of the day, possibly of the year in the world. This horse has 3 million owners and counting. Voyage Bubble beats Soul Rush, Joe Moreira second at 1.6 and Beauty Joy number 5. Brenton Avdulla at 15 for third in front of Cheng Cheng Glory, and Beauty Eternal kept on. Galaxy Patch flew home. He began well. He was always on the pace. And without a horse like Golden 60 now, he can truly shine at 1,600 metres. And Ricky Yu has just won his 8th race with Voyage Bubble. James McDonald has nursed him home. They were coming. Soul Rush from a mile back. He's run him to a length. They've gone 133.34. It's about half a second inside standard. Beauty Joy has made up many, many lengths, and then there is a line of them. It's a rather nonchalant-looking team there, but here's Nick with James McDonald.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, James McDonald with a beaming smile on his face, and rightly so. That's a nice way to set up the Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. He's a great horse in his own right. And, geez, he felt excellent going to the gates today. He was really on the job, and credit to Ricky and his team. They've prepped him up beautifully.
And as you say, in his own right, this is a proper Group 1 horse, isn't it?
Oh, mate, he's a fair dinkum one, and that's a very Aussie slang, isn't it? But he just gives us all, you know, and very big heart. He's very uncomplicated. He puts himself in the race, which it's great for Hong Kong. They're dominating. Let's go. One more.
Indeed. Well, you've got plenty of owners to go and see as well. Enjoy it, James.
Cheers.
Great to hear there from James McDonald. Voyage Bubble is now a 2-time Group 1 winner here in Hong Kong. The 2024 Stewards Cup and now the 2024 Hong Kong Mile.
She is King of the Mile. We'll know soon because they're racing. Lazat missed it by a length, Antino missed it by 1, and Galaxy Patch is going to drag straight back.
That was less likely. I think he and Danny Shum have had some quite intense discussions about this plan, and James McDonald will have a view as well, but nothing if not ambitious.
Well, definitely, yeah. Look, I mean, on the dirt, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it? But he's got that much talent. Who's to say that he won't be even better on that? So we'll have to wait and see.
What's going on in the market, Paul, and the play? Where are the exotics going through to maybe steer us in who punters are teaming up with the Romantic Warrior here?
Well, it's 1.2 now about Romantic Warrior. So he's actually drifted, believe it or not, from 1.1 out to 1.2. Look, there's nothing much through the exotics. There's a couple going through the 9 Liberty Island with a couple at a big price, the 3 and the 6. So that's Nimble Nimbus and also Straight Aaron. And also the 5 and 6, which is Caliph and Nimble Nimbus. But they're massive prices. So nothing, he's really sort of stifling the market is Romantic Warrior, but he's still a 1.2 clear favourite. Liberty Island's the only other one now in single figures into 7.7 as Testiera now drifts to 10.
There is on-screen horse number 2. We're walking around behind the gates, Spirit Dance. He's looking pretty relaxed around in front of what is a big crowd here today, Nick.
Yeah, he's a bit of an old pro, this horse now, Spirit Dancer, and as he's behaving nicely, Liberty Island's just getting a little bit stirred up before the gate. I was in the thick of that earlier on, Tom, and I thought it felt busier than the last couple of years. I don't know. I haven't seen the number, but it was, as you can see, pretty intense.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's been a lot of people around the bowl and the parade ring today, and somewhat, Jeanette sort of felt a bit like mini Australia here over the last couple of days walking around. But it's great to have the international visitors in town and a really strong international contingent today here on course running. And wanting to win some of this Hong Kong 126 million.
Yeah, look, we've had some fantastic competitors here, no doubt about it. And as you say, so many visitors in town. And Nick, you've done a number of functions throughout the week as well. You're probably sick of the Australian accents, aren't you?
I spent a few days in Melbourne this spring as well. So no, of course not. I love hanging out with you guys. You know that. But it is great to see strong Australian participation here. You hope that it will presage more horses coming up next year and make this a genuine international competition, be able to compare Northern and Southern Hemisphere form and see how all the nations are getting on against one another. Make the world a smaller place. That's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. 5.5 money coming for number 11, Wingspan, down towards the bottom. This for International Group 1 racing. This is the last roll of the dice for the Japanese runners now.
It is. They've got a very strong hand here, haven't they, with Tassiera, Liberty Island. Tassiera is dead solid. It's just going to run well.
There is, of course, on screen, Spirit Dancer still looking pretty relaxed around at the start. What about Caliph? Can he measure up here against some of these, or is it a stiff uphill task for him?
He's trained by very capable trainers, Carlos and Jan Lerner. They've had another good year, been ambitiously campaigned, but he's twice finished behind Spirit Dancer, both in Saudi and in Bahrain, and with no obvious excuses. He's run really well both times, but I just don't really see how you can fashion a more cogent case for him than you can for the horse in shot there.
Straight in. Sorry, Judy.
I was just going to say, Romantic Warrior behind the gates. He looks nice and relaxed, doesn't he? He's, behaving himself beautifully there, and you could see Liberty Island just a little bit on her toes, but that might just be very normal for her as well.
You gave Straight Aaron a good report, Judy, because he was in good form coming into this race last year, but he hasn't been in that same form. He obviously left the barn of Casper Founds. He's gone to Ricky Yu. But there were maybe a couple of signs I thought that he might have been sort of started to come back maybe, but I think he's still a long way off where he was this point last season.
Yeah, look, he's had those 2 runs back in this campaign, and he's been looking well on each occasion. I thought he was even a little step up today as well in the looks department. That's why I put him in second.
As the field are moving in front of a packed house here at Sharjah for the final Group 1 on HKIR Day 2024, the Turf World Championships. There is Peter Lau sitting in the stands in anticipation here of Romantic Warrior potentially winning a 3rd historic Hong Kong Cup with Mark McNamara.
He's gone in, Tom, Peter Lau, Sir Alex Ferguson, both trackside. Romantic Warrior, we're underway in the Cup, and he jumped well, Romantic Warrior, and he's going to lead them down past the winning post again. Wingspan's come up alongside to have a look for the lead. Encountered Tastiera wide going into the first turn. Nimble Nimbus down on the rail from Straight Aaron, and then came around that first turn on the fence then is Caliph, followed then in between horses by Liberty Island. And further back in the race is the Foxes, and last of all is Content running up the side, and the race is being led here by Wingspan. As expected, she's taken over the lead by half a length over Tastiera running second. Encountered third, Romantic Warrior fourth, and McDonald's off the rail. Not risk getting pocketed, and he's taken the great horse one off the fence. Spirit Dancer wider, and then came Nimble Nimbus and Straight Aaron. A length to Liberty Island from Caliph and the Foxes, and last of all is Content. Her stablemate Wingspan, she leads by 2 at a good tempo. Tastiera is running second, Encountered run of the race third, and Romantic Warrior fourth at the 1,000-metre mark. Nimble Nimbus on the fence. Spirit Dancer 3 wide with Straight Aaron splitting horses. Next is Liberty Island from Caliph, the Foxes, and last of all to turn off the back straight is Content. Wingspan lead, 7.50 to go in the Cup. He's out by 2. Tastiera for Japan second, Encountered third. Fourth, Romantic Warrior. Spirit Dancer next. Then came Nimble Nimbus and Straight Aaron. A length to Liberty Island from Caliph and the Foxes. And a length away last of all is Content. 500 metres to go. And leading for home Wingspan. Tastiera, Romantic Warrior. He's come up outside the 3 from Spirit Dancer and Liberty Island wider out. Liberty Island and Tastiera, the Foxes, Straight Aaron, then came Content, and Caliph, and Nimble Nimbus, and Wingspan, and Spirit Dancer, and Encountered. Romantic Warrior, James McDonald at 1.1 and 1. Peter Lau has himself a wonder horse. Denny Shum is a wonder trainer. He's peaked him again. He can run anywhere. He peaks him. Liberty Island's run on well for second. Tastiera's run third, but there is just no beating this horse. It's close for fourth between the Foxes and Straight Aaron. There's not much in that, but it's all about history at Sha Tin. Romantic Warrior. James had a look around at the Japanese runners, and they just can't go with him. No one can go with him. Anywhere he goes, what an animal, what a team. Our Warrior, Jay McDonald, and his trainer, Sia Shum. James is about to head back to join Nick.
Yep.
He's gone around to the back straight, Romantic Warrior. He's pulled up by the 1,400 metre mark, 2 minutes, 0.51. They're inside standard. Wingspan set the tempo. She faded. Romantic Warrior joined in. Tastiera went with him briefly, but that's all it was. Liberty Island's run on. She was never, ever going to get him. So many people came to see two horses today. Karying Rising, he's delivered. And then there's this guy, Mr. Perfection himself, Romantic Warrior. He's still coming back towards you, Nick. He could have gone around again and still beaten them. What an animal. And the man on board, what a rider.
He certainly is, yes. Quite the horse, quite the rider. I think the perfect combination. It's written in the stars. James McDonald, history at Sha Tin. That must have felt very, very special.
Unbelievable. So goddamn proud of this horse. Keep going, please. He's just been a remarkable effort by Danny and his team. And the Japanese put it to him, but with no luck.
We're just running out of superlatives, aren't we, really?
He's the best.
He is indeed.
Forget the rest. He's the best.
He is indeed. And just on today's performance, he felt as good as he's ever felt?
Yeah, he has been flying, and anyone could ride him. He's that easy, but I'm the lucky one. Horse of a lifetime. This was our moment to create history, and it dead set felt like I was lining up for the winning kick for the All Blacks. It was that pinch me moment.
James, let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Thank you.
James McDonald, after Romantic Warrior, wins a third historic Hong Kong Cup. He's pumped up. He's on top of the world after the Hong Kong Cup.
Romantic Warrior, we're underway in the Cup, and he jumped well, Romantic Warrior, and he's going to lead them down past the winning post again. Wingspan's come up alongside to have a look for the lead. Encountered Tastiera wide going into the first turn. Nimble Nimbus down on the rail from Straight Aaron, and then came around that first turn on the fence then as Caliph, followed then in between horses by Liberty Island. And further back in the race is the Foxes, and last of all is Content running up the side, and the race is being led here by Wingspan. As expected, she's taken over to lead by half a length over Tastiera running second. Encountered third, Romantic Warrior fourth, and McDonald's off the rail. Not risk getting pocketed, and he's taken the great horse one off the fence. Spirit Dancer wider, and then came Nimble Nimbus and Straight Aaron. A length to Liberty Island from Caliph and the Foxes, and last of all is Content. Her stablemate Wingspan, she leads by two at a good tempo. Tastiera is running second, Encountered run of the race third, and Romantic Warrior fourth at the 1,000 metre mark. Nimble Nimbus on the fence. Spirit Dancer three wide with Straight Aaron splitting horses. Next is Liberty Island from Caliph, the Foxes, and last of all to turn off the back straight is Content. Wingspan lead, 7:50 to go in the Cup. He's out by two. Tastiera for Japan second, Encountered third. Fourth, Romantic Warrior. Spirit Dancer next. Then came Nimble Nimbus and Straight Aaron. A length to Liberty Island from Caliph and the Foxes. And a length away last of all is Content. 500 metres to go. And leading for home Wingspan. Tastiera, Romantic Warrior. He's come up outside the three from Spirit Dancer and Liberty Island wider out. Tastiera leads. Romantic Warrior. He's a neck on the outside. Liberty Island 3 lengths away. Romantic Warrior. He's taken over. 1 length Tastiera. Liberty Island continues to run on, but it's the Warrior. Romantic Warrior, 2 on Liberty Island. It's history at Sha Tin. 3 cups.
And just so easy over the final stages. Look, there's the Foxes.
Wow.
He has run 4th in the end ahead of the straight.
It's a huge run.
Oh, ahead of straight Aaron there. So he's run a career best here this afternoon, has the Foxes. 1:09.4 and 7, a length and a half. We'll come to you first, Ginny, on an unbelievable performance again from, as James said, the horse of a lifetime.
Absolutely, and what a superb ride as well. From gate number 1, it was obvious in the early stages he didn't want to stay there, and he wanted to just make sure that he was one off the fence so that he wasn't going to get trapped. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. He's still going to bullock through and win the way that he won. Great winning margin once again. And what more can you say about this horse, Nick? He's just sensational, isn't he?
He is. He looked better than he's ever looked today. He's run as well as he's ever run. He's had the perfect preparation. He's been exquisitely trained by Danny Shum. They've got big plans, as we were saying beforehand. And James McDonald always seems to have so much time on this horse. You know, yes, Wayne Lorden, if you want to go to the front and get Wingspan to go as fast as she can possibly go for the entire race, then you go ahead and do that. And I'll just sit, bide my time. As you said, come one off the fence. Didn't want to be stuck behind her. She wasn't going to tow him far enough into the race. Perfectly angled out. Had the 2 Japanese horses chasing him. Tastiera, Liberty Island, they're good horses. They're classy horses, the filly especially, but they were never going to get to her. And some people don't like jockeys celebrating prematurely. The Australian stewards quite often take a dim view of it.
They do.
But frankly, I love it. James McDonald's bit of theatre about him, a lot of charisma. And yeah, he's a humble man as well as a self-confident one in the saddle. So I don't mind seeing a little bit of something in the finish from him. I think people warm to it, people respond to it.
I agree.
He's someone who, you know, he loves doing what he's doing, and that is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is infectious.
Absolutely, and so you can hear the quiver in his voice when Nick was speaking to him before. Nick, not bad from the boy from Cambridge.
Yeah, no, he did very well, didn't he? And returns 11 and 10-10, 16 for second. Japanese Liberty Island, the Japanese third as well at 21.50 with Tastiera. QUINELLA 1 and 9, 26. The forecast 34. The trio 149.42 and the TS 194 100. And he's done very well indeed. And look, he just loves this horse, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. You just, as I said, you can just hear it in his voice, and almost any interview, you just have to say "romantic warrior," and you can
see
feel you can feel the emotion come out of what this horse means to him. He's ridden some exceptional animals, Animo, very elegant, but this horse has to top the lot.
And of course, it's cemented his own love affair and affinity with Hong Kong. And where might that lead us in years to come? We always assume at some point that it is going to become a more regular part of James McDonald's life being here.
I think it's not too far away, actually. No. I think in the very near future we might see Hong Kong a home for James McDonald. I don't know anything, but I'm guessing that that's a huge possibility. But look, he can come and go as it happens. Exactly. At the moment. He can ride the best horses in Australia, the best horses here, and this one is our best horse here. He is just brilliant. Absolutely. And look at the intelligent head on him. He's just such a beautiful horse. Of course, he was one of the ISGs. He's now a 6-year-old gelding. And they've just, Danny Sherman, the team, have just done such a brilliant job with him.
What do you say about the 2 Japanese? They came, they really tried hard. Tastiera stayed on well, and he was right there in the thick of things. But Liberty Island's come from a long way back. So that was good to see her come off what was a below par run last start.
You can talk through the race as often as you want. The truth of it is, Romantic Warrior is a faster horse than Liberty Island. And he's got faster as he's got older as well. And he's by acclamation, who died not long ago.
Yeah,
who's been a
last week or so.
Really influential stallion. And he's had some wonderful stallion sons as well. I think he came here for the sprint when Gerald Cottrell had him all the way back in the day. But he was a really good sprinter. Obviously, there's little stamina in the dam side as well. And Street Cry appearing in another pedigree of a legendary horse.
You would have seen his trial on the dirt as well, no doubt, off the video. When it comes to Saudi on a different type of dirt surface compared to what we have here in Chantilly, he quickened on it well. You don't see any trouble going for a dirt surface.
Well,
for him.
The point is he breaks well, which is obviously crucial on dirt, and he can travel away, which is important. Yeah, clearly he should be a better horse on turf than he is on dirt, given his pedigree. But he's got to a stage in his career now where he's experienced enough to maybe handle that. I doubt he'd want to be sitting in a load of kickback. But as I say, he's handy and he's tactical. So I think the Saudi Cup, if you're going to do one of those races, it's probably the right one to try him in, because that dirt there is just a little more forgiving than the dirt in Dubai.
Yeah.